I want to talk about, after 28,500 miles, what do I like about this car? What do I not like about this car? What problems has it given me? Basically, a little over a year review of the car. I bought it in August of 2015, and it's now October of 2016. So I've had the car about 14 months, which I think is a pretty good time to break in the car. You know, I put a lot of time in this driver's seat, a lot more than most people would in a 14-month period. You know, like I said, I'm at 28,000 miles. Most people might put 10 or 15 on the car. I put almost double that. So this has been my experiences. Mileage may vary, obviously. But first, let's start with the likes, and we'll get to the dislikes later, or the problems I've had. Likes, the car's just fun. It drives really well. It handles really well. It's got enough power that if I need to pass someone, if I need to get around somebody, I can drop a gear and it just goes. The turbo is a lot of fun. It kicks in when you want it to. Yeah, it's not as, the power isn't as on demand as a naturally aspirated motor, but it doesn't feel that bad. It doesn't have that huge turbo lag like some turbocharged cars do. The car handles really well. I love that about it. It's kind of what got me into the car to begin with. The fit and finish has held up really well. I haven't had any issues with body panels not lining up. The leather is still as amazing as it was the day I got it. They're very comfortable seats. Since I'm in the car so much, I definitely wanted a vehicle that I wouldn't mind sitting in. I mean, and it holds you in pretty well. It fits me fairly well. I mean, I'm a 220-pound guy, 5'10", so I'm not a tiny guy, but I'm not enormous either. So, you know, the seats may fit different people differently, but they fit me really well. They hold me in place going around a corner, which is really what you want from a seat. I mean, there's no real, you know, metal that stops you from going sideways. It's definitely cushion, but it works out great. They're real comfortable seats. I'm not doing anything crazy on the track either, so, you know, once again, mileage may vary. Other things I like about the car is just it's got that great Mustang look. I haven't gotten sick of it. I park the car, still look back at it. Stereo still works really well. It's nice. It's not as nice as an aftermarket system, but it sounds pretty good. It's not as loud as I wish it was. Occasionally, if I'm sitting down in my car, like I got some like drive-through and I'm watching some Netflix on my phone at lunch or something, it doesn't get as loud as I think it should. So for some stuff like that, or for like classical music that's kind of quieter, anything loud music will be fine, but I definitely noticed that about it. The subwoofer doesn't kick as much as I think it should, but it's a factory system. I mean, there aren't that many factory systems that are really going to knock your socks off. So one of the big pluses that I found with the car is actually not even a stock feature. It's one of the few modifications I did to the car, and that was I swapped in a GT350 steering wheel and a GT350 shift knob. Altogether, it was probably about $400, I think, for both. I think I paid a little over, I think I paid like $260, $280 for the steering wheel and maybe $80 for the shift knob. So maybe $350, $350, somewhere in that ballpark, $300 to $400. But the shift knob was a little bit low for me. This fits my hand a little better. I like a traditional stick shift, not a knob or a ball. So this is perfect. The steering wheel's got that nice Alcantara leather. It's got suede on the top. It just fits in your hand really well. So, you know, let's get on to probably what most people are interested in, and that's dislikes or problems I've had with the car. Well, the number one dislike is the thing that I knew I would not like going into it. And that's something that everybody tries to fix with this car, and there's just no solution. The sound. The engine in this car is an inline 4. It's not going to sound good. You know, unless you're talking about a motorcycle engine that can rev up to 12 or 13,000 RPM, you know, a 4-banger just sounds like garbage. And if you say it doesn't, you're fooling yourself. You know, you're going to sound like your car's farting. I mean, they sound terrible. I've seen some folks that have pulled the Resonator off and it doesn't sound too bad. I've heard a few in person and it's okay. But to me, it's going to sound like garbage. At least it's quiet garbage. So I've left the stock alone. I don't want to mess with it. That's kind of my biggest issue with the car. That was a complaint on day one, and it's a complaint now. But you know, it's kind of the price of admission. You know, the price of the ticket. If you want this car, you got to deal with the fact you're not getting a nice V8 sound. But I knew it going in, and 14 months later, I'm totally fine with it. It is what it is. Problems I've had with the car. So I've had a couple, but nothing major. My trunk, one of the pieces that the trunk closes into, a plastic piece, just through normal operation, ended up breaking off. The dealer had to replace it. That was really the only very small minor problem I had that's not a larger issue with the run of the cars. I have two outstanding issues that really don't have a resolution that I'm hoping Ford comes out with fairly soon. They're aware of them. You see it on Mustang 6G. I've got an issue with Sync 2, which, you know, the 2015s have. The 2016s and beyond get Sync 3, but the Sync 2 likes to disconnect from Bluetooth occasionally. It kind of sucks. You're listening to music and it just starts, it almost sounds like a CD skipping, and then it just cuts out. So I'm kind of at the mercy of Ford to hopefully come out with a solution. Can't even really blame the dealer for that one. The other issue is I've got a funny thing that some other folks have reported, Ford's aware of it, is occasionally when you use your presets, the mirrors start ticking downwards and they just keep going like they're jamming themselves open. It's kind of annoying, and I'm kind of worried it damages the motor inside the mirrors on the left and the right side. Ford knows about it, so hopefully they come out with a fix soon. The only other issue I had, and it wasn't really an issue, but tires went out really quick, in my opinion. You know, I got about 20,000 miles out of the Pirelli P0s that came with the car. That was probably about 2,000 miles more than I should have. I was kind of trying to baby them to at least 20. I've seen some folks on the forum get as little as 10. I mean, I'm not the most aggressive driver. I don't do burnouts. I don't even get on it that hard that often, so I was kind of hoping to make it a little bit more, but you know, that's what happens with a summer soft tire like that. So later on I'll talk about what tires I got. I went a little different road than most people would have, but they're great tires for me, and I'm really happy with them. We'll do a tire review on those later. But that's kind of where I am with the car, 28,500 miles later, and I love it. It's a fun car. It's the best commuter car I've ever had. I know folks buy them to take them out to the tracks or to mod the hell out of them, but for me, it's just a car I drive to and from work, and I love the hell out of it. So I'm looking forward to the next 30,000 miles. Thanks for watching. It's a little bit different than some of my other videos, but they're all car-related stuff. So if you're interested, please like the video. Please comment below. You know, what do you want me to talk about in my next video about the car? Definitely let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions about the Ecoboost. I love this car, love this engine. Always happy to talk about it. And subscribe, and you can see some other car content. I go to a lot of Cars and Coffees. I'm always talking about cars. I'm in the middle of a project right now about filling the third space in my garage with a new car, so you can kind of watch that process if you'd like. But just go ahead and subscribe. And thanks for watching.